Hey everyone, this is Jake, and today we are quickly going to go over which awakening character that you might want to consider getting from the selector ticket that you are able to acquire after finishing all the anniversary missions. These are the list of characters that you are able to get from this awaken selector ticket for this anniversary. Of course, they pretty much have everything except the latest one that was released, which is Curian, so be aware of that. But they have Untapped Vanilla. So there's tons of awakening characters you can choose from this list, and depending on which player you are, you already have something that in your mind that you want to get, like I do. But then again, there are probably many people who actually are confused because that's a tons of characters and you're not sure which one to go for. I would definitely say get whatever you are missing if you are only few away from the collections. But here's are the list of the characters that I can recommend you in case if you don't have those characters. Of course, it's a waifu game after all, so if you really want to chase after certain waifus or certain male character, go for it. But here's are my recommendation for you in case if you're missing those characters. So I have made some party of these awakening characters, and these characters are in order in my opinion what you probably need the most right now for the global server. So let's go over them one by one. First one, of course, we have Rosaria, which is the main DPS character you can add on for your party. She's a ranged DPS unit, and she's a sniper, and she's a counter unit. So she has all the bells and whistles when it comes to being useful character, and she's not missing out from any of those. Her kits are great, her damage is outstanding, she's good in both PvE and PvP. So I would definitely recommend you to go for Rosaria if you don't have her. This is your chance to get the best DPS character for the global server. Of course, if you're a new player, this is going to be a great pick, if not one of the best pick you can go for right now as well. So I strongly recommend you to go for it. And I don't really want to cover the gear options in this video because I actually made a version that spent hours recording. And when I added gear options and started to talk about it, I lost a track of myself and video got to like 30-40 minutes long, and I don't think that's really worth watching. That's just too long. So I am re-recording this more shorter versions. So if you really have questions for the gears, I will be making a separate video because I think I'm still going to be trying brand new account to go through as a new player just for fun and see how far I can get. So we'll go through that, and there are some changes when it comes to new players. They are giving more reward for specific spots and such. So we'll go through it and one by one. But if you really need questions or answers for which gears to be used for certain characters, you can always leave comments and I'll try my best to reply to those comments. Anyways, that was long, and if you start to whale, you can also get this skin as well, which is really cute. I'm still on my way for global server. I should be able to get it during this anniversary for Korean server. But anyways, yeah, that's the skin. Moving on to next character, we have Jake Walker, and he is also one of the best awakened characters that you can go for, especially if you're new players to mid-level range players, because he's just absolutely crazy. He's a defender class, and actually defender class in this game, or tend to be in a lot of games, are really good. He's a tank type of character that's able to tank a lot of hits for your allies and stand strong so no one else dies basically. But at the same time, he's also able to do tremendous amount of damage, especially if the enemies are mechanic units. So he's very versatile for both PvE and PvP. And PvP, he's still really good even though he's actually a couple years old unit. And he is also able to do tons of damage and help you some of the more challenging PvE contents, which tend to have a mechanic units or the bosses that you have to fight against. So having Jake as a new player will be a pretty awesome choice to have, and I can definitely recommend going for Jake. He's actually going to be getting a waifu skin as well, so don't worry about it. If you don't really want to do, you can also have the waifu version of him as well. But anyways, that was just minor details. And yeah, he's just really great character and really fun to use. Next in the line, we have Awakened Sigma, which is one of the best Awakened characters that exists in the game at the moment as well. She is good in both PvE and PvP, and certain situation within PvE contents, she's just unreplaceable. She's just that good. So if you don't have her, I would definitely recommend to go and get her because she is that good. If you're a returnee or some of the old player who haven't played the game for a while, you're probably wondering, what are you saying? Sigma is the best character right now? Yeah, she got buffed and she is crazy good right now after that buff. And she's also a daughter, so come on. You don't want to pass up on chance to get one copy of free daughter. So yeah, go for her if you really want her. Now, one thing I do have to stress out is that the mechanic units and the soldier unit that we're going to talk about next is that they use different types of gears compared to counter characters. And especially if you're newer players, you really want to focus on the counter gears first, because the more counter gears you have, the more you can swap out to other characters, because you tend to use a counter character the most amount of time for both PvE and PvP. So the more counter gears you have, the easier it's going to be just swapping out the gears for another character. For example, if you finish this maze set for counter character, you're able to use the sets on multiple characters, like 80 to almost like, I would say 90 useful characters within this game. As a counter, will be able to use the maze cooldown set. So whenever you get a new character, I don't know which gears to use on the character, you can just slap this gear and it will work crazy good to, if not one of the best gear they can use. Where mechanic units and soldier units, even though these specific mechanic and counter units are crazy good to the point that I think they're really OP, there's not that many good other mechanics or soldier units they can take benefits of having those gears. So the gear is probably only entrance barrier when it comes to using non-counter characters, so just be aware of that. But you should be eventually able to get it. Just playing through the game it will take time, I won't lie to you, but it will take some time, and once you finish the gear, you will see the true potential of them. Moving on to the next character, we have Curian, which is one and only soldier awakening units we have within this game. And since he was buffed, he was already pretty decent. Now he's one of the best characters that you can go for. And yes, he is included in the selector ticket as well. So if you don't have Curian, this is your best chance. Curian is good in both PvE and PvP. He doesn't specialize in a lot of places because he's just pure DPS units, but amount of damage he can do is insane, and some situation you do need the soldier units or non-counter units to do damage into certain situations, and Curians will come in handy, or if not, he's the one who's going to be ruling the battlefield. So having Curian will be great assets to your character pools, and I strongly recommend you to go for Curian if you don't have it at this point of the game, because he's crazy good. And even for new players, I think he's still really good. I just think the other characters are much more versatile when it comes to using for different contents and such. But still, I think Curian is very worthwhile, and you can go for him and you will not regret making that decision, in my opinion. So I think that is pretty much it for the characters that you want to really go for. I think we can far say Awakened Shin Jia is probably the character you also do not want to miss out, because she is 5 cost supporter units that able to help you through so many different PvP contents and such, and you really want to have her if you mid-max things, especially when it comes to supporter slots. But I think 4 characters I just mentioned are like the characters that you really want to have that will really lower down the entrance barrier for some of these contents, or sometime within PvP as well. Other characters I have in the party, like Chifuyu, is amazing character for PvP and not as good as in PvE, so that's why I'm just not want to mention here. I put in the party still because I think she's worthwhile to get, and she's really cool like character. And we also got Regina here as well, another amazing character for PvP, but requires some materials to make it work, but still like absolute monster. And we also have Awakened Soyun here. It's not as good in PvP anymore, but still amazing and probably one of the best DPS unit you want to go for against the bosses, like raid bosses, co-op bosses, and stuff like that. So I think a lot of these Awakening characters have their own standing ground to compete against the other Awakening units I mentioned earlier. But when it comes to selector, like I said, you can only pick one character, so you have to choose wisely. But anyways, I think this is pretty much it for this video. If you have any other question, please leave it in the comments. And like I said, I'm going to be making videos and doing a live stream with a brand new account starting this anniversary tomorrow. And we'll go through and learn the experience of being a new player once again. I mean, I have so many different accounts for this game that I play from different servers, and I've been through a lot of this early game, and I think this is probably like 6th or 7th time I'm playing the early game again. But it should be a little bit different experience because they changed the reward, they lowered the entrance barrier quite a lot, so we'll see where we can go. But anyways, that is pretty much it for this video. Thanks for watching, guys. Jake. I will see you guys next time.